Adams, again with the Adams Team Real Estate. Welcome back for day 2 of our Home Seller Bootcamp, where we dive into the basics of how to sell your home for top dollar. So today we're going to be talking about cleaning and pre-packing. Maybe it doesn't sound like the most fun part of prepping your home for sale, but they are crucial, absolutely crucial in the process. They can also make a big difference in the price your home sells for, believe it or not. People want to envision their life well organized and clean, and they want to envision the space that they have. And if it's cluttered, if it's dirty, all they see is work. So if you want in on exactly what pre-packing means and how to make your house look double the size, or well, maybe not quite double the size, but it does help, then and you want to know where to focus your efforts, then join along and stay tuned. We'll talk about it. So first thing up is pre-packing. We're kind of referring to it as pre-packing instead of decluttering. A lot of this stuff that you're putting away, it's not necessarily what you would consider clutter, but in the eyes of someone else, maybe it is. So a lot of what we're focusing here is you're moving anyway, so why don't we just start that process of packing everything and start getting it in boxes, start getting it organized, ready for the final move, while also clearing out your house a little bit. So first thing to do, stock up on storage bins. Go through your closets, go through your basement, figure out where you have extra storage bins, go buy some storage bins, because you're going to want to keep everything organized. And then the key step here, think half. You want to think half of your stuff, half of what you have out, half of what you have in your closet, half of what you have in your kids' rooms. That's what you want to pre-pack. Again, the idea is that this makes your house feel bigger because it's not full of a bunch of stuff. So first we'll go through the closets. We'll take half your shoes, half the clothes, half the jackets from the mudroom closet. Next we'll go to the kitchen. So think of the countertops, cabinets, pantry, all those areas in the kitchen. If they're currently jam-packed full of stuff, then you want to take the things out that you're not using daily. So for example, if you don't use more than 2 casserole dishes, then why do you have 12 casserole dishes in your kitchen cabinet? Go ahead and pack away most of those. Keep just a couple that you use for your family. Don't worry, all the ones that you use for Thanksgiving, for holidays, pack those away for later. Same thing for small appliances. So if you're not using the latte maker, the popcorn maker, those items, again, pack them away. Save them for later for your next house. Remove the appliances like blenders and toasters and put those in a place that's easy to access but hidden away. We like to say, depends on the size of your kitchen, but we like to see only 1, maybe 2 small appliances that are very nice out on the counters. That's kind of a maximum. So if you have any more than that, or if you have stuff like an air fryer that's not necessarily the nicest looking thing on your counter, let's hide that away. So when it comes next, we'll move out of the kitchen, move on to home decor, knickknacks, little things that you have lying around. You'll want to pre-pack really the majority of these. Certainly anything that's smaller than about the size of a baseball, you'll want to pre-pack. It's okay to leave out a couple like decorative books on the coffee table, maybe a candle and plant, something like that, but you want to limit the amount of just stuff that you have out. This includes removing some of the personal items that you have in your house. So if you do have a lot of personal items, not saying to remove all of them, people do want to see a little bit of that because they want to see that it was a family living here, or that it was, someone living here they can relate to. But you'll probably want to remove the majority of those. Now in the bathroom, again, makeup, toiletries, hair products, skincare, you name it, you probably have a lot of it that you don't use every single day. So take the stuff that you're not using every day, pack it away, put it somewhere, put it in a bin, make it ready for your next house, but just pack it away. We want to make sure that they see that there's enough room for them to live on a daily basis in those spaces in that bathroom. Okay, so next, throw out any expired products that you have. I hear that makeup does expire, and you might have some. So throw that out. Pick up some smaller bins from Target, some little organization. Bring some organization into that bathroom space. Start putting the little organizers in the drawers. If you have anything left out on the counter, make sure it's nice, make sure it looks good, and it's well organized. All right, next thing, toys. Toys are a big one. Those of you that have kids like Danielle and I do know that toys multiply, and they multiply, and they multiply. I kind of like to think with toys, half might not be quite enough, at least if your house is like our house. Probably looking more like 3/4 of the way. And it's not something you're gonna, in my opinion, want to do without your kids involved. Make sure that they know what you're doing, that they know you're not necessarily getting rid of everything, although it's okay if they're done playing with something to get rid of it, but that you're just pre-packing to make their room look a little better, and really focus on keeping out the toys that they want to keep. And then make sure that once you do for showings, you're gonna want to put those away. So whatever they do keep out, make sure that it has a place to go, a quick bin, quick place you can go and throw it and hide it when you have showings and so on. So that's pretty much it for the pre-packing tips. It can obviously go more in depth as we talk to you in person, but for now that's pretty much our high level tips. Next, how do we keep all that stuff organized? So I know when I've moved in the past, I have had boxes and boxes, and all of them had just black Sharpie on them. Maybe they said a room, maybe they didn't, maybe they just said miscellaneous. So for this pre-packing stage, it really helps if you go get color-coded labels. Doesn't have to be these colors, but just make sure that everything you're doing for that pre-packing, you are color-coding. It's quick, it's easy. You see if you need something in the next month or so while you are in this process of selling your home, you know where to get it. You know that it's a bedroom item, so it's in the blue labeled bin. So it also helps when you go to move, once your house sells and you're going to move, you know that there are a bunch of or a number of blue labeled bins for the bedroom. Some of them might have some more space, so you go grab those, fill them up completely, and then get ready for that final move. So that's kind of the high level as far as pre-packing and keeping that stuff organized. So next I'll talk about deep cleaning a little bit. There are some areas that we all kind of forget about or don't clean as often, and you might not think about them. So I just wanted to highlight a couple of these. Cleaning is relatively basic. I'm not going to get into the details of how to really deep clean your bathroom or anything like that. But some of the areas that we miss, so making sure that we actually wash the windows. We want the house as light and bright as possible. Along those same lines, take any screens out. We usually recommend taking all of your screens out. That lets more light in the house. I think screens block something up to like 30% or more of the light coming through the windows. We don't want to block that light. We want to let as much of it as possible in. So grab those screens from the windows, take them downstairs, just leave them in the basement, leave them in a closet, put them out of sight. Keep them in the house. We want to make sure they're there for the new buyer, but we want them out of the windows. Baseboards. Most of us don't wipe our baseboards enough, so that when there's dust on those baseboards, people notice it. Same thing with fan blades. I'm sure you've all walked into a house that had fans that ran frequently. Maybe the house had a pet, maybe it had a dog or a cat. There's, all sorts of nasty stuff catches on those fan blades. So make sure you just give them a wipe down. Blinds also, definitely something that you want to touch on there. So the other thing I really wanted to touch on doesn't really fit as far as the deep cleaning or any of that, but deferred maintenance. So we want to make sure that any of those little deferred maintenance items, maybe you have a slow drain in the bathroom, maybe your front screen door sticks or it doesn't close all the way. We really want to take care of those. Again, the idea here, we want our clients, we want our buyers to make an emotional connection. We want them to envision their life in this house and envision it being simple and easy. So we don't want any of these little small annoyances where they see work, where they see ongoing maintenance. So we want to just take care of those. And we can talk through that, talk through it with your agent, talk through it with us. Any of those little items, if you have a question, we can kind of go through whether it's an item that rises to the level that you definitely should do it because it's going to annoy buyers, or maybe it doesn't. We can talk through that, but in general, you're going to want to take care of those deferred maintenance items. So that's it. That's it for day 2 of our Home Seller Bootcamp on cleaning and prepacking. Tune in tomorrow. Danielle's going to be talking about home staging tips. And so check back in tomorrow, and thank you for watching.